First off, welcome to To Skim It. Okay, first comic that I read this week was Hawkeye #1, who's really, really cool. It's neat that you're kind of getting to see the past of Hawkeye when he's a child, as well as current up-to-date stuff, and they're two different art styles as well. Sometimes they kind of blend together, like he'll be running in the present day, and you can kind of see in a window next to him running with his brother, or something like that in the past. And they're done different styles. Like in the past, it's all very watercolors. It's very different, but it's good. It separates the boundaries really well, and it also kind of ties them together in a neat way. So I didn't know anything about Hawkeye's past. I feel really bad, but I didn't even know he was like deaf or hard of hearing. I learned that in this one. So this is actually a good one to pick up if you didn't know anything about him. Great series so far. Grayson. If you haven't picked it up, first off I have to say, great if you like Dick Grayson, Robin, Nightwing, superheroes, stuff like that. But if you also like spies, pick it up, because that's pretty much what it is. A lot of the times it'll drop you right in the middle of a mission. That's kind of what this issue did. For the people who have started reading it, this is issue 8. Really, really awesome. Without giving anything away, all I can say is like cliffhanger, lots of questions afterwards. Who is Agent Zero? You're gonna get hooked when you start reading this, no doubt. That's all I had to say.
Awesome. Sounds like some good stuff to pick up. Okay, I'm gonna start with Halogen. This is a new title by Boom. It's a 4-issue art, limited story. There is a lot going on in this book. It's definitely, if you're good at multitasking, this book is for you. It's about a girl named Rel. She's got this halo that's part of a projection, this hollow suit that she has. She's really kind of sensitive about the halo, very self-conscious about it. But she's on a mission to find the body of a god that was floating in space. Their god created their world and then died. And then the body just appeared in space, and so the followers found it, but then they mysteriously committed suicide. Suicide thing. It's very, very interesting. A lot going on. Very interesting artwork and lettering. It was very enjoyable. There's going to be a lot going on in this series, and it's only a 4-issue story, so not a lot of commitment there if you're looking for something quick to pick up. The second one I read was Detective Comics #40. I have to admit I have not read the series. This is the first issue that I have read in this series. It is the end wrap-up of the Anarchy storyline. Anarchy is a fairly new villain. It drops you right in the middle of a big battle between Anarchy and Mad Hatter, and Batman's kind of trying to jump in and stop it because Anarchy's going to kill Mad Hatter, and that's not cool. It reveals who Anarchy is and why Anarchy is doing what he's doing. I'm pretty sure that was not previously in there. I'm not going to ruin it for you. There is also Anarchy's defeated, but you know how that goes.
Quotes.
Right, yeah. I mean, there's more. It wraps up the story very well. It has some really good Alfred kicks in and tries to save the day. It's kind of interesting. So it was my first Detective Comics, and I enjoyed it.
Sweet. I did this in true Minute to Skim It. Wow. This is true Minute to Skim It style. I actually read these each in a minute because I have a sick boy at home. So Guardians Team Up is a big romp and fun. It's really great. They all show up on the same planet together, and someone's up to no good, and it's probably one of your favorite villains that you don't know what happens to her at the end of Guardians of the Galaxy, so she shows up at the end and she's messing with them. She's got some kind of big genetic weapon that she's used on them. Groot's awesome in it. If you're a Groot fan, you'll love to see this. And of course, you've got Rocket, all your favorites. So, good pickup. The big con job. Don't wait too long to get this book. It's going to disappear off the shelves. Anyone that's been to cons or has seen a con, this is great because it kind of goes back into the background of what a con is like to run and what it's like to be invited to one. So a lot of the artists, famous people, they fly in. You'll see what it's kind of like for them, where they show up at the hotel and someone forgot to get them a room. Or they show up and no one's got books for them. Or those kinds of things. A lot of them don't make a lot of money. It kind of feels like they should be raking it in, but it's not true. And they get approached at the end of this book by a nefarious character who has a grand plan. And it's the big con job to get them all money so that they can live, kind of decent life. He says lots of money, but who knows if that's true. So I am super intrigued.
Awesome. Okay. And that is this week's Minute to Skim It.
I think we're going to hear from Brian.
Yeah, we're going to hear from Brian first.
Who couldn't be here with us today, but he's going to review some books for us.
So first up, we've got Green Lantern number 40. Pretty much everything you need to know about this book is on the cover. You've got Hal Jordan facing off against Kilowog. Fans of the Green Lantern book will recognize this pack on the back of Mr. Jordan here. This was the pack worn by Krona, self-sustaining power battery with the power gauntlet, upping his Green Lantern factor, if you will, by quite a bit. And this book is pretty much, like I said, it's a brawl between Hal Jordan and Kilowog. You'll find out a little bit more why Hal is leaving the Corps, and this is all leading up to the big event in DC, Convergence. Great book. If you're a fan of Green Lantern, you're going to want it. If you've not read any Green Lantern books, might steer clear of it, but great buy, $2.99. You can't beat it. Next up, brand new Star Wars title, Princess Leia. You've already seen the main book featuring Han and Luke. You've already got your Vader title, and now we've got Princess Leia. Picks up right where Star Wars Episode 4 New Hope left off, complete with Chewbacca getting snubbed with no medal once again. You thought maybe you'd get that in this book, but no. But seriously, it picks up right at that ceremony where they're getting their medals and takes off right from there. You find out that the rebels maybe aren't as kind to Princess Leia behind her back, and she feels that she has to prove something. So this is really her kind of ramping up and getting into that more combative role. And you've already seen some of that in the Star Wars 1 book, where she's involved in the secret mission. So there's obviously a time gap between this book and that, so hopefully this story will lead you up into that. So great buy, good art. Mark Waid does a great job writing it. Decent book. If you're a Star Wars fan, you're definitely going to want to check it out and find out how Princess Leia comes into her own. And that's it for me this week.
Thank you for joining us for a minute to skim it. Just wanted to make sure you know that the first 3 covers for the DC movie covers are in this week. Don't miss them because they are beautiful, beautiful things. This episode has been brought to you by my cat Purper, who put cat fur all over my shirt. Thank you very much.